Good day, everyone. We are the Group 4 presenters, and I am Yasa Macedonio. And together with my group mates, we are going to discuss Chapter 8, which is the supplier identification and evaluation. So, here is the outline of our topic. First is introduction. Next is the selection of evaluation process in supply chain management. Next, the supplier evaluation, and last is the supplier selection criteria. So for introduction, the supplier selection is the bedrock of strategic acquisition and the source of supply advantage. The evaluation process ultimate aim is to minimize buying risk while improving the net value to the customer. When choosing a supplier through a challenging or high cost, one-time contract and establishing a long-term relationship, a formal assessment and evaluation procedure is often utilized. The goal of supplier evaluation is to guarantee that a potential supplier will meet technical, financial, and commercial criteria. So, on the other hand, an existing manufacturer supplier assessment is a procedure that compares a supplier performance over time against a set of standards. So, here is the selection and evaluation process in supply chain management. So, in selection and evaluation process in supply chain management, it is the process of searching for potential suppliers who will be able to deliver products, materials, and services required by companies. So here is the step-by-step process in selection and evaluation. First is acknowledge the need for supplier sourcing. Second, determining criteria for supplier sourcing. Third is identified sources of potential supplier. Fourth process is shortlist the supplier from selection pool. For 5 process, determining methodology to access and evaluate supplier. Next is evaluate and select the supplier, and the last process is contact agreement signing with the selected supplier. So for overall, the selection and evaluation process in supply chain management plays a critical role in ensuring supplier reliability, optimizing cost, fostering innovation, promoting compliance and sustainability, and building a strong supplier relationship. It contributes to the overall efficiency, resilience, and success of the supplier chain. So, supplier selection criteria. To meet customer and corporate satisfaction needs, the following guidelines are used as criteria in sourcing of vendors in hospitality industry.
Number 1 is process and design capabilities. Suppliers can include up-to-date and competent components, as well as the process technology needed to produce the required content. Using specialized vendors to perform product development activities is one method for reducing the time it takes to manufacture creative products. This means that suppliers should have the necessary skills and technology to provide the components. Number 2 is quality and reliability. When selecting a supplier, the standard scores of the sourcing object should be a significant factors. For example, is the supplier delivery lead time dependable? Otherwise, manufacturing will have to be suspended due to a shortage of supplies. It means when selecting a suppliers, it's important to consider both the quality of the components they provide and their reliability in terms of delivering those components on time. This ensures that the finished product meet the required quality standards that the manufacturing process runs smoothly without any interruptions. Number 3 is cost. The actual cost of ownership includes the materials unit price, payment terms, cash discount, ordering costs, carrying costs, logistic costs, maintenance costs, and other intangible expenses that are difficult to quantify. This means when choosing a supplier, it's not just about the price of the product itself. The total cost of ownership is what really matters. This includes not only the price of the material, but also the other expenses like the payment terms, discounts, ordering costs, storage costs, transportation costs, maintenance costs, and other hidden expenses that are hard to measure. So it's important to consider all these costs to get a clear picture of the actual expenses involved in owning and using the products. 4 is service. Suppliers must be equipped to provide outstanding service in the event that it's needed. For example, as product details or guarantee support are needed, vendors must more rapidly. This means that supplier or vendor should be prepared to offer excellent customer service when their customers needed assistance. For example, if a customer has a question about a product or needs support with a warranty claim, the supplier should be ready to respond quickly and, and provide the necessary help. The goal is to ensure that customers have the positive experience and receive the support they need from the supplier. Number 5 is capacity. The organization commitment to meet expectations as well as the provider's capacity to handle large requests could be investigated. The organization commitment to meet expectation means that suppliers should be dedicated to fulfilling the requirements and needs of the buying company. This includes factors such as delivering products on time, providing excellent customer service, and being responsive to any issues or concerns that may arise. The supplier's capacity to handle large requests refers to their ability to handle a high volume of orders or fulfill big orders. This means they should have the necessary resources such as production facilities, inventory, and skilled workforce to handle large quantities of products efficiently and effectively.
Number 6, we have the location. A geographical location which affects delivery times, transportation costs, and logistic costs. It is also a crucial factor in the selection of the supplier. Any company requires its supplier within a given range of its plans. So, the location is a geographical location refers to the physical location of a place or entity. It is an important factor of supplier selection for companies because it affects delivery times, transportation costs, and logistic costs. Companies prefer to have supplier located within a certain range of their plants or facilities to ensure efficient and cost-effective operation. This proximity reduces transportation time and cost, allowing for faster delivery of goods and lower logistic expenses. 7 is management capability. Evaluating the management skills of a respective supplier is a daunting yet important step. Management flexibility is shown by management commitment to continuous process and product growth, its general technological competence and experience, its capacity to maintain successful relationship with its willingness to create closer working relationship with the customer. So management capability is evaluating the management capability of a prospective supplier is a crucial step in supplier selection. It involves assessing the supplier management skills, flexibility, technological competence, experience, and ability to maintain successful relationship. Management flexibility is demonstrated by the commitment to continuous process and product growth. This shows that the supplier is adaptable and willing to improve innovative over time. Number 8 is financial condition and cost structure. It is normal during the selection process to assess a prospective partner. Financial status, typically a appraisal committee, will examine the different cost ratios to determine how much a retailer would spend on supplier, how it would reimburse its contractor and staff, and how it will meet the flexibility and financial commitment. So, during the selection process, it is common to assess the financial condition and structure cost structure of prospective partners. Appraisal committees typically examine various cost ratios to understand how much a retail would spend on supplier, how it would reimburse its contractor and staff, and how it will meet its financial commitment and maintain flexibility. Assessing the financial condition involves analyzing financial statement such as balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statement to evaluate factors like liquidity, profitability, solvency. This helps determine if the prospective partners has a financial resource to fulfill its obligation and sustain its operation. So, analyzing the cost structure involves examining the breakdown of costs incurred by the prospective partners. This includes assessing the proportion of costs and related to supplier labor, overhead, and other expenses. Understanding the cost structure helps evaluate the efficient and com- competitive of the competitiveness of the partner operation. Number 9 is planning and control system. Planning and control structures are systems that release, coordinate, and track the flow of work within the organization as well as the external parties. The degree to which such systems are sophisticated can have a direct impact on supplier and chain performance. So, planning and control systems are crucial in supply chain management as they help coordinate and track the flow of work within an organization and with external parties. The degree of sophistication of the system can directly impact supply chain performance. In short, planning and control system release, coordinate, and track the flow of work to ensure efficient operation. This includes managing resources, schedules, and processes. More sophisticated planning and control system can improve supply chain performance by enhancing visibility, responsiveness, and optimization of activities across the supply chain. Factors like demand variability, product complexity, and supply chain structure influence the appropriate planning and control control approach for a given organization. Commonly, system includes material requirements planning, just in time, and hybrid models. Number 10 is environmental regulation compliance. The present state of hospitality industry has highlighted public understanding of its industry's environment effect. As a consequence, the willingness of suppliers to conform to environmental requirements is increasingly becoming prerequisite for supply chain partnership. So, environmental regulation compliance in hospitality industry, there is a growing awareness of the environmental impact caused by its operation. As a result, compliance with environmental regulation has become a crucial factor in selecting supplier for supply chain partnership. In short, the hospitality industry is under scrutiny for its environmental effect, leading its increased public awareness and concern. Suppliers in the industry are now expected to demonstrate their commitment to environmental compliance as a prerequisite for partnership. Compliance with environmental regulation includes adhering to law and regulation related to waste management, energy efficiency, water conservation, and sustainability.
Willingness to share technologies and information. The willingness of suppliers to share technologies and information is becoming increasingly important in the outsourcing landscape. Companies are leveraging suppliers' resources to enhance their core competences while seeking partners who are open to sharing their expertise. This collaborative approach not only enhances the quality of the final product but also allows the client to concentrate on their core strengths. Longer term relationship potential. Establishing a longer term relationship with a potential supplier can be a strategic decision, especially in scenarios where the supplier plays a critical role in the organization's operations and the expenditure involved significant. This approach is particularly relevant when the supplier falls within the sensitive quadrant, indicating their strategic importance to the business. By nurturing a long-term relationship with key suppliers, organization can foster trust, drive efficiency, and promote innovation. Supplier selection scorecards. In the procurement process, organizations often face the challenge of evaluating and selecting alternative suppliers in a systematic manner. This evaluation becomes complex when criteria encompass both quantitative factors, such as cost and on-time delivery performance, and qualitative aspects like management stability and reliability. The supplier preference scorecards involve assigning numerical scores to each supplier based on various criteria assessed by the evaluation committee.
Supplier evaluation. The issue of supplier appraisal is crucial in the procurement process as it helps. Wait. Supplier evaluation. This supplier evaluation, the issue of supplier appraisal, is crucial in the procurement process as it helps prevent wastage of time, money, and effort along the potential embarrassment of rewarding a contract to a incapable supplier. Supplier appraisal involves two key aspects: supplier pre-qualifications, which occurs before the contract, and supplier performance, which is evaluated post-contract. Ray Carter introduced the 10 C's concept of the supplier evaluation to aid in supplier assessment during the pre-qualification phase. Here are the 10 C's concept of supplier evaluation, starting with number 1, capability and competence. It is the duty of the supplier to handle the proposal or tender in an informed and competent way. You must assess the supplier's management abilities, willingness to invent, design, and overall ability to produce and deliver the goods and services you need. The expectation is that you can know what you need and that you will need these requirements to tackle the agreement later in the contracting phase. Number 2 is capacity. You must understand whether the supplier can meet existing and future supply needs. For example, if you need 5,000 units of product X on a monthly basis and the supplier can only provide 2,500 units, you must determine whether the supplier has the capacity to satisfy the requirements, even if they just suggest alternatives. Inquire into suppliers' willingness to manage their own supply chain. Number 3 is commitment. These depends on whether you want a long-term or short-term arrangement, but regardless of which arrangement you prefer, you should evaluate supplier values like quality, service, and cost management because these considerations normally determine how the relationship works out. Number 4 is control system. What risk management plans would the retailer have in place if things do not go as planned? You can discover that the changes in the cost to consumer company cause your vendors to just adjust well as well, such as environmental regulations that affect how you produce your products. Cash. Number 5 is cash. Examine your supplier's financial health, including their working capital. Keep in mind that you would not be willing to charge them monthly basis because most business want to reimburse after 30, 60, or 90 days, but you can expect to receive the items regularly.
Number 6, consistency. What is their track record of credibility for delivering improving quality and service? Is it impossible to be flawless all of the ways? And in contrast, the manufacturer might have produced in a place to ensure consistency and require about supplier plan, and it required order a presentation and a test sample. So sabi dito, the manufacturer might have produced in a place to ensure the consistency. So tayo, for example, tayo ang supplier ng isang good or item. We need a place for us to ensure the safety and the consistency of our product or item. And also we need to make a plan kung paano natin um, for the good flow of our transaction. Next is the cost. This has to do with their commodity price as well as other aspect of the actual cost of ownership. It is the money they are after even worth it. So the number 7 says that the sum of the cost associated with the process to plan, source, deliver, and the return. And pwede din dito ma-include all of the cost of materials, labor, and other expenses incurred in the production of the goods and services. Number 8, culture. As this type of stage, you can ensure that the supplier business standard are compatible with yours, including issues such as business culture and technology use. In some cases, this is almost a matter of consistency because it makes sense for the manufacturer and the customer to share some shared values and practices. Otherwise, their relationship will become strained in the future owing to a cultural clash. Cultural differences can impact supply chain partnership as communication style, business practices, and the organizational structure may vary between partnership from the different culture. So, sabi dito, culture is also a matter of consistency because it makes sense for the manufacturer and the customer to share some shared values and practices. And it will also affect the communication, negotiation, and the decision making of the customer and the supplier. Number 9, compliance with environment. The supplier image in terms of corporate social responsibility and regulatory compliance is an important element of meeting demands and maintaining a long-term relationship. This represents increased environmental awareness and adds to the supplier's commitment to sustainability as well as conformity with environmental standards and best practices. Number 9, compliance with environment. The supplier image in terms of corporate social responsibility and regulatory compliance is an important element of meeting demands and maintaining a long-term relationship. This represents increased environmental awareness and adds to the supplier's commitment to sustainability as well as conformity with environmental standards and best practices.